It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hey, you clicked on this video, you saw the title and thumbnail, you should know what's going on here. 8 Deluxe is the best Mario Kart game released to this day, and I honestly don't know why more people aren't accepting of that fact. Okay, so it turns out the majority of people are accepting of that fact, but a lot of people are still clinging to Wii, DS, Double Dash. I even saw a shooter for 7 in my comment section once. What are you doing here? I want to take some time to discuss why I think 8 Deluxe is supreme, as someone who grew up with Wii and as someone who has genuinely played every single Mario Kart before. There's no loopholes to find here. I just genuinely think 8 Deluxe is the best one. And look, I really don't want to start with this point because it makes me look a bit superficial, but just look at this list. There are 96 courses in this game. The case is closed. Content, or more specifically, amount of content, is probably the easiest win you'll ever give to 8 Deluxe, and it's quite obvious why exactly that is. With a series record smashing 96 courses, count them, 96 courses in this game. All either original, some of the series best from older entries, or city courses from a mobile game, but you can clearly see that there's practically nothing but good eggs here. Like, just off the top of my head, we've got half a Rainbow Roads included here, a generous helping of personal childhood favourites like DK Summit, Mushroom Gorge, Wario's Goldmine, Moo Moo Meadows, the list goes on and on. Not to mention the massive facelifts given to SNES tracks that make them feel like playable racing courses rather than uninhabitable hellscapes that only the sick and twisted could design and only the tormented could race on. I should try busting that quip out during family Mario Kart night, I'm sure they'll all appreciate it. It feels really shallow to say that the amount of content in a Mario Kart is one of the most important facets of the game for me, but the amount of content in a Mario Kart is one of the most important facets of the game for me. And it's not because the numbers make 8 Deluxe look good or just trying to get cheap wins over previous entries, but it's because the main draw of this game is playing it together as a party game, at least it is for me. Whether that's with my friends, family, offline or online, more courses to play means more unique and funny moments I can have with them, and I really value those. Thus, I value the amount of tracks to race on. I've never really been one for time trials, most of my single player experience comes from grinding Grand Prix, but even then, having this many courses to set records on and explore is a net win for everyone who likes to speedrun and time themselves. It's a net win for everyone. Making and adding Excitebike Arena hurts nobody, and I guarantee someone good enjoyment out of it. Having this much content to play on and with is 8 Deluxe's greatest strength, and it permeates throughout the entire game too. 48 playable characters, 42 separate Mii costumes, 41 karts, 22 wheels, 15 gliders, 13,530 possible combinations of kart parts, and over 700,000 unique combinations of characters and karts. It's very easy to just slap a label on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as the Mario Kart with the insane amount of content, but I think when you actually quantify it into numbers like this, you really begin to appreciate just how much there is in this game, because it's a lot compared to previous entries. Sure, you're never using all 700,440 unique racer and kart combinations, and you're always going to have that one course that makes you go, oh, that track again, but I still feel like the sheer amount of things you can customize and do in this game is its greatest strength over games like Wii and Double Dash. You could argue, but barcodes, isn't including the tracks from the booster course pack cheating? And I'd reply, a magician never reveals their secrets to winning arguments. Now for my next trick, I'm gonna post your address online. But even without DLC, that's 48 tracks in the base install of the game, the most the series has ever seen. And even then, I think it should count. Yeah, I'll say it. I know it's a little scummy to do, considering the only other Mario Karts to receive post-launch content updates was, you know, Mario Kart 8, but no one remembers Mario Kart 8 without its DLC. Could you imagine playing a version of Mario Kart 8 Wii U that looks like this? Seriously, Mario Kart 8 used to look like this. On a real note though, 8 Deluxe expands the original Mario Kart 8 enough for me to consider it its own separate thing. A separate thing heavily based on an existing thing, mind you, but its own separate thing nonetheless. This Deluxe version adds a series first purple drift boost, fully fledged double item slots not seen since Double Dash, and all new smart steering and auto acceleration features to help everyone play, and Luigi win by doing absolutely nothing. And we've got 200cc time trials, finally! And that completely overhauled battle mode. Oh my god, wait! 8 Deluxe completely reinvents the battle mode seen in the original Mario Kart 8, and I cannot stress the word completely enough. It's genuine night and day between 8 Wii U and 8 Deluxe. A battle mode once described as abysmal and borderline unplayable by gaming journalists has been expanded from one pitiful excuse of a mode to five fully fledged modes. But Nintendo could have just given us dedicated battle mode courses and I still would have considered it an improvement. It'd be like going from being served dog food for breakfast to cereal without any milk, but an upgrade is an upgrade. But I mean, look at this, just gaze upon this. A balloon battle that actually makes sense. Bringing back the original coin runners from Mario Kart Wii, Shine Thief and Bob-on Blast returning from Double Dash, and an all-new Cops and Robbers mode called Renegade Roundup. In general, a lot of inspiration has been taken from Wii and Double Dash when it comes to implementing these modes. Like how Coin Runners no longer has a coin limit to make it more like its initial appearance in Wii, but it's Renegade Roundup I want to focus on in particular. An entirely new, never before seen team-based mode which sees one team play as the cops and the other the robbers. I'm not a pig, so you'll never see me as the cops, God willing. But gist of the mode is the team of cops have permanent piranha plant items activated at all times, and the team of renegades have to avoid being eaten by those piranha plants to not be thrown in jail. Get caught, end up helpless in jail until a renegade drives over the release button for your cell and frees you. If every renegade is caught, the game ends and the cops win. But if the time limit runs out with at least one still running free, the renegades win. It's just Cops and Robbers. Yeah, I spent that time just explaining Cops and Robbers. But the main chaos of the mode comes from the introduction of power-ups. This is no mere prison break, this is a battlefield. Renegades using mushrooms to blast themselves over the release switch, cops firing off red shells to stun and snap at renegades, the renegades firing back with bloopers and shells of their own. It's a chaotic mess, and this is why I love it so much. Arguably, this is the greatest battle mode we've ever had, and considering its wholly original content, it's slam dunk evidence that this is the greatest Mario Kart to ever walk the earth. I should have said drive. I should have pretend I said drive. Again, creating an enhanced version of Mario Kart 8 was Nintendo's ultimate cheat code. You're already basing your game off the most visually stunning and one of the most complete and biggest Mario Karts of all time. Now you get to take all of that work and put it on a console that actually sells. Then make the game twice as big and fix those niche annoying complaints that have cropped up over the game's lifespan. Hey, Nintendo, why can't we remain in the same online lobby while changing our carts of characters? I don't know, let's fix that. Being a second attempt or a redo at a Mario Kart already fighting for high places in the all-time rankings, fixing and perfecting the game's biggest and most gaping flaw, then going on to throw heaps and heaps of unimaginable new content at the game just when people's dreams had vanished, makes 8 Deluxe the de facto best Mario Kart for me. And with the amount of retro tracks from previous entries in the series, there's practically no need to look back anymore. So why do I keep looking backwards? Every now and again, I sit down with someone I've known for a long time and play through some Double Dash with them. Like, play through Double Dash. This game is so short you can burn through it in like 2 hours maybe. But while we're playing, we don't really care about our placement or go for trophies or anything like that. We just talk to each other. Sometimes it's about stupid shit, sometimes it's about ourselves, and sometimes it's about things that are even bigger than ourselves. But having that more casual Mario Kart experience to just fall back on and not care about as much is really nice. It really links back to what I said earlier about valuing Mario Kart as a collective, as a party game. It's the ultimate game to play with friends, and the more tracks you have to race on, karts to ride with, battle modes to play, the better. But that applies to the games too, the more the merrier. If my family starts waning after a good few cups of 8 Deluxe, I can always suggest the wildcard option. Anyone fancy some Super Mario Kart? Mario Kart is a game best enjoyed with company, and sometimes you and your company don't feel like playing the best one because you'd rather play the one with 2 characters, or the one we used to play growing up, or fuck it, we all get in a mood sometimes, I'll play the one that's shit. Pretty much every entry in the series comes paired with a unique draw that makes it stand out to the others, either a visual difference or a more significant change in how you play the game, cough cough Double Dash cough cough. And it still makes them worth going back to today, just to revisit that era of what Mario Kart was like. Of course, it's hard to argue that any of these games are the best Mario Kart now. They're up against what's essentially a Mario Kart with 10 whole years of development time, and it will be hard for any game to compete with that. But the fact you still have people that purely believe that 7, Wii, DS, or Double Dash are the greatest Mario Karts ever made, I think that's a sign of a strong franchise more than anything. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best Mario Kart Nintendo have ever made. by a country mile. But just because it's objectively the best doesn't mean it's the best to play in every scenario. Want to play a, technically, niche version with a unique twist? Go and play Double Dash. Searching for a hit of childhood nostalgia? Wii is my pick. Searching for a hit of childhood nostalgia but you're old? 64 is my uncle's pick. There's value in everyone's favourite Mario Kart, no matter what some online ranking tells you, or what some nerd on YouTube.com tells you, or what the weird sweaty kid in the corner of the arcade looking for someone to play Mario Kart Arcade GPDX tells you about the arcade game. Yes, we get it. It's got Pac-Man. Now let the grown-ups get back to the table, please!